everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of On This Table. On This Table is a show where we bring you issues confronting life and the world at large, and of course bring possible solutions to these life issues. So today we're going to be talking about the value of education in Nigeria. And as usual, I have a guest in the house. When we come back, the conversation will start.
KINGSPRIMETV is a one-stop entertainment website for live sports, news, reality shows, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log in to our website, www.kingsprimetv.com, or download our app on any of our iOS devices or your Android phones, any one of them. Just download and you get your movies and all entertainment stuff just the way you like it. Welcome again to KINGSPRIMETV.
Welcome back. The value of education cannot be overemphasized. Just like they say, education is the bedrock of development. However, the value of education in Nigeria can be said to be very devastating. Some people say that education has lost its value in Nigeria. Well, we will get to find out what has caused the devaluing of education in Nigeria. With me in the house is Pastor Mrs. Princess Kate Iwezu. She is the CEO of Princess International College and Schools. You're welcome to the show, Ma.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, so first of all, let's get to know who Pastor Mrs. Princess Kate Iwezu is.
Oh, you have said it. I am Pastor Princess Kate Iwezu.
Okay.
Yes, the CEO, like you said, of Princess International College and Schools.
Schools, okay.
Yes. And then I'm equally the convener of Women of Light Fellowship International.
Okay.
Yes, I'm also equally the president of When Women Gather.
Wow.
When Women Worship.
Okay.
So that's who Princess, Pastor Mrs.
Princess.
Is.
So with so much hats on your head, how do you manage to pull this through? You have a school, you are a minister, and you are a wife. You are a mother.
Yes.
How do you do this?
Oh, it's been the grace of God upon my life.
Wow.
And in fact, grace will make you do things that are difficult just naturally. You know, so I think it's the grace of God upon my life. And I thank God that God has blessed me with a good husband. And thank God as well that the children God has given unto me, He has helped me to train them. And in this sector where I find myself, the educational sector, I thank God that my children are good examples. Yes, my last child is already a master's degree holder in law, and called to Nigerian Bar, called to British Bar. That's the last one. The others two are all master's degree holders in their various fields. And God has been helping me really to combine this. So for now, they are all independent, and I have more time for my God as well. Just yesterday, we celebrated 32 years in marriage.
Wow! Congratulations! I must say you are a strong woman.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about the value of education in Nigeria. So you have been in the educational system for a long time.
Yes,
you have a school. So tell me, how has the journey been for you?
Oh, for me, Princess International College started 20 years ago, about 21 years ago, because by September 25th, we will be 21 years old. So it has been a tough journey. I would always tell people that if I had known it was this rough and turbulent, I wouldn't have gone into education as a business. But I came into education as a calling. as a calling. And then because it's a calling of God upon my life, you know, to raise up these children and train them in the word of the Lord, according to Proverbs 22 verse 6, and so that they will not depart from it. And God promised me that he was going to give me all that it entails to now do it. So that's why it's a calling, and that's why it has been like easy. You know, many proprietors will start schools and then just maybe 10 years along the line, 7 years and order, and then they will stop. The school will fall down, will close down, a lot of problems. But the Lord had made it possible by his grace to weather all that storm. And here we are today, 21 years after, and Princess is waxing stronger and stronger.
Okay, so let's talk about the school. Just like you just said, you said that a lot of schools have started, which is not far from the truth. A lot of schools have started and have closed down their schools. So what makes Princess International College and Schools different?
What makes us different, like I would tell you, John Maxwell said that in management, everything rises and falls on leadership. So once the leadership misses it, you have missed it. And why I say that is because a lot of proprietors go into school business because they want to make money. If you are going into school business because that is another lucrative business that you can just start and then have quick money, you know, at the end of every term your pocket is full and your bank account is smiling, you will miss it. You will not get it. But if it is a calling, if it is that you want to give back to the society, if it is that you want to help the society, bring up these young ones, you will make it. God will give you all that it takes. So one of the reasons is this leadership. Is this leadership, and leadership is forced on me. And I am one very person that believe that it is not just making profit. So most of the time we are not even making profit. Most of the time, money funds come from outside, maybe from my husband or from other sources, to just keep running the school. Most children in the school, they are indigent children. Children that parents cannot pay school fees. And then we have in every term and in every session, some of them, a handful of them, on scholarship. So this is one of the things that have kept Princess going. Another thing is that same quality management and quality staff. If you do not have that, you cannot continue to excel. The first thing that will make a parent bring a child to the school is because that primary education is what she is seeking. A child wants education. He's going to school for education. He's not going there to come and learn how to clap hand and worship God, of course. That's not the right. So they're coming there to be trained formally. So, and do you give that? I have been able as a school, we have been able as a school to give to, turn out good products of Princess, and they speak for us. We have been able, on the other hand, also to maintain this standard. We have been able as well to maintain 100% in our external examination results. So all that have kept us, kept Princess International College going forward.
Okay, so you talked about quality education. Now, what is the yardstick to measure quality education? How do you say, okay, Princess International is giving quality education to its students?
Oh, it's easy to measure. I've given you even one of the measurements. I have said, the 100% that is turned out, from external exams results. That's one of that. If you have students, the first year, second year, your 5 years in existence, you can't make it. The children turn out and fail all their, major core subjects that will take them further in life. Then it's not quality education you're offering. Again, education is not only bookwork. Education as well, especially in a formal environment like a school, approved, is total, and that's for our school as well. Is total, bringing up a child. That's the vision, bringing up a child, offering total education. The child, that will come out tomorrow to be a total child, an adult of excellence, an adult that will not bring shame first to the parents, to the home she's coming out from or he's coming out from, and then even to the school. That she passed through, and then to the larger society. In our school, White Princess, I can say, that gives quality education. Do you know in our school that we have students' government? At the secondary school level, we have students' government. Do you know that the students' government, the campaign, we have the students ministers. We don't have prefects. We have ministers. Yes, we have ministers. So they make up the students' government. SG, they make up the student government. Do you know that we don't have senior prefect? What we have is the students' president. Do you know that they come render their manifesto so that the students can, the community of the school can vote them? I vote for them. She, as a chairman, my husband, votes. Everybody in that community, whether teaching staff, non-teaching staff, even the cleaner, is in that community. We vote. And do you know that it is a secret ballot? And then when we vote, we cast and select who we become. We pioneer the affairs for that 1 year of the student government. And like that, we are preparing them for the larger society. We are preparing them not to rig election tomorrow. We are preparing them not to be like our politicians we are seeing today. We are preparing them to be honest. We are preparing them to deliver. That's part of quality education. In Princess, it is not only Princess International College. It is not only that. Spiritually speaking, you should take care of the children as well, because God has given them into your hands. It's not by mistake. I am always happy when I travel outside the country and I see some of these students and they are coming to look for Big Mommy, thanking me. I am a good disciplinarian. He had one at that. And you see them, thank you, Ba, for that discipline while I was in school. It has brought out the best in me. I thought you were punishing me, but now I realize that it's not really punishment. That's what makes for quality education. Because we bring them in. We have, people coming to minister to them, to pray for them, to even those who have problems. Most children come into Princess International College and then they are going back. And then they are preaching to their parents to go to church. They are preaching. I'm telling you that.
Okay, so
it's an all-round thing. That's why it's a total child you have to, train out to have.
Okay, we'll still continue this conversation. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
My name is Bukola. I'm a dedicated wife. I'm blessed with 2 beautiful children. I am the creator and the creative director of In Between I Stand. And the beautiful thing about the King's Prime TV is it's an app. I can decide to use it on my television. I can decide to use it on my phone. And of course I have an iPad. I can decide to use it on my iPad. There is no boring moment with the King's Prime TV, especially the way it gets me close to my culture day by day. I'm a busy mom and sometimes I just want to be on my bed alone with my laptop watching the King's Prime TV. It is the best thing ever. And I'm not connected to just one aspect of the King's Prime TV. I could decide to watch TV shows like The Big Nigerian Wedding or probably go for a series. Lots of beautiful things on the King's Prime TV.
In Africa and beyond, more and more people are finding King's Prime TV a rich hub for entertainment. With a monthly subscription fee as low as $7.99 US, you too can enjoy seamless, world-class HD entertainment that will inform, educate, entertain, and enthrall you. Join us today. Visit KingsPrimeTV.com to enter into a whole new dimension of entertainment. King's Prime TV. Entertainment just the way you like it.
Welcome back. So we are talking about the value of education in Nigeria, and I still have with me in the house Pastor Mrs. Princess Kate Iwezu. Okay, so let's talk about teachers now. Do you think teachers who are employed in schools are professionally trained? Let's use your school for instance. How do you what is the criteria you use to measure a good teacher?
A good teacher should first of all have the qualification first. A good teacher should have the passion to teach, should love teaching. A good teacher should also love the children, because in fact the children, if you don't love doing, I tell my teachers, if you don't love doing this, you are in the wrong place.
Okay, talking about teachers who have the passion to teach, how do you know a teacher who has the passion to teach? Because you know that most people become teachers because of the rate of unemployment. Yeah, so how do you know a teacher who has the passion to teach?
Of course, we conduct our selection process. You know, we conduct the interviews, we conduct the exams. Before you are engaged in our school, you have to pass through an aptitude test. You have to pass through a written test. You have a written exam, even at that. You have to pass through that. You have to now pass through the practical teaching in the class. And so the teachers are there to assess you. Fellow teachers are your students. And then before you even take you, before the students themselves to steal, all that are part of the test. And then before you come for the oral. So within all that, I identify. Thank God for the grace of God upon my life. I identify that no, this is not right for this place. I will tell them, I say, no, you're a mismatch hypothesis. you're a square or a peg in a round hole. So not here. You can find your place somewhere else.
Okay,
so it's easy. Before the teacher will pass all through this, you will find them out, and some of them they will just run. And I must be engaged in it. Nobody will engage any staff, you know, without me, you know, having interviewed that staff. Because I know what I want and I know my standard. So that if you do not fit into my standard, you'll be shown the way out. Even socially, we ask a lot of questions and we have to, you know, even bring in, you know, guarantors, you know, and then seek them. We will find them out to, you know, do a background check upon you, so that you don't come there and then you are in the classroom teaching integrated science, and then you're teaching something else. You are not delivering. So, and whoever is a vice principal at academics is there to supervise you. You can't even teach the children alone. We are there. So with all this in place, you will know who has the passion to teach, who has the love for the children. You know, you will know. Because some of them will come in there and then they are beating the children. Maybe they will come in there and they beat the hell out of the children because the child did not understand. I always tell the teachers, you see, a child must be a child. You, who is an adult, you will be asked, do this. This is the rule here. But you will falter. You will not do it. You will not comply. You will not obey. And then when a child makes a mistake, and then you want to kill the child? No, that's why the child is in a formal educational system. So that you keep correcting until you're not so that. That's what is training now. Training is not a one-time thing. You keep doing it and the child comes out, you know, as a good product.
Okay, so let's now talk about the value of education in Nigeria. Do you think Nigeria has lost its value for education?
Sincerely speaking, if it is a yes or no answer, I will say yes. Hey, it has.
Okay.
But I can now give you reasons why it's my opinion that Nigeria has lost its value on education. Okay, do you see how the world assesses that? I ran into a BBC, you know, research report that shows that 100%, about 10 million children of school age are out of school in Nigeria. About 10 million. It's correct, isn't it? Oh, so you can imagine. So Nigeria has lost it. Instead, the politicians, a politician has money to buy vote, has money to kill people, has money so that you just get that vote and be in government. And in government will not, those who are the lawmakers, they will not even make laws that will enable the country, you know, to give out quality education. education that is of value. You know, yeah, so I think so. I also ran into, you know, a report too that gave a data that Nigeria. Do you know that Nigeria in the world ranks? What is they said, 124, 124. Do you know that Rwanda even is before us? Ghana ranked 24. Ghana ranked 12 in Africa. Nigeria ranked about 20 something or 30 something in Africa. So why would I not say that Nigeria has lost its value in education? I would boldly say that. I would boldly say that. That's why, as a passionate person, compassionate person, as a person, not as a proprietor now, I will see the children in the villages not going to school.
Wow.
Oh, and my own children have gone through school. And then there are many people, you know, who can afford this. I give them education. Like in our village, and that's even my husband's village. I have about 15 children. I am training in primary school, secondary school, paying their fees. I don't know their parents. I just identified and went to those schools, about 3 schools. And they're private schools. Went to those schools, identified the children who cannot pay fees. There was something I do give the children, you know, at the end, every 25th, you know, in our village, I do for them, giving them, you know, school parks, school supplies. You know, from there too, I pick some of them, and I pay their fees. And then, like a school, my PA, personal assistant, reminded me, you know, that, Mommy, there's a child we have not paid the school fee. You know how much? 8,000 naira. 8,000 naira, somebody will go to fast food and spend it. Spend much more. But that can take a child to school. That can take a child to school. So why would I, given all this, why would I not say that Nigeria really has lost its value?
So do you think that the government is not passionate about education?
I think so. What do they invest? I think so. I think they are not. Because if they are, this is not where we should be.
Of course.
We should not be here. Okay, look at during the pandemic, during the lockdown last year. During the lockdown last year, we were begging them. National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS. We are begging them to come to our rescue. Most of our teachers, we could not. School was not on now. But you know, those teachers who are teaching in private schools, they were home. They didn't have money to eat. Can we pay them? We couldn't pay them. And government was busy taking this money. Look at all the palliatives now. You know, you see where they were locked. So can a child go to school on empty stomach?
No.
So they are not passionate about it. That's my submission.
Okay. So now let's talk about most of these government officials who sponsor students abroad.
Who sponsors students?
Students abroad. So for you, do you think it's a wise decision? I mean, looking at the fact that we have universities here, I mean, we have good lecturers, good professors. So what is the reason why most of these government officials prefer to send to sponsor some children abroad? Because I've heard of, for instance, most states give scholarships to people abroad. So why do they give these scholarships to people abroad to go abroad and study and not here in Nigeria?
Oh, some of them equally do give for students in Nigeria. I know that some of them do give. And then for some of the states, I think your question should be different from sponsoring their own children.
Their own children, no.
It is different.
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, why would they even sponsor other children? Hey, one thing you should know, given all that we have said now, our own educational system it needs a long way, to go. And so given that, a child who now shows, some kind of brilliance, I give an example. In 1 year like that, there was this Ghana student from Princess International College. He was the best in job in that year in the whole country. And then he merited scholarship abroad. You should know that abroad, the Western education is far better than our own for now. So if they have to gain the education and still come back to our country, to Nigeria, to impart what they have learned, it is still to our advantage. I believe that. It will still, because some of them have come in, most of the state governments that do this will get an undertaking from you that you must return. Okay. So if you return, so that manpower they won't lose. That manpower they will gain from, that you're working in the system in Nigeria. And I know a lot of students in Princess that, gained, scholarship, education abroad. And they are back. They are back to the country and they are putting in their best. So I think in that area, you should not blame those state governments who have done that. Because even in the years, back, somebody like Nnamdi Azikiwe also schooled abroad. So you wouldn't say, but we come back here. They should come back here and then, put some change because they are better than us. We should agree to that. We should agree to that.
All right.
If they come back and then, put in what they have learned, it is to our advantage as well. And so, our growth and civilization.
It is to our advantage. The conversation still continues. We'll be right back after this break.
King's Prime TV, your one-stop entertainment platform for live sport, news, top-notch Nollywood movies. Please log on to www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app from the Google Play Store or iOS to get entertainment just the way you like it.
Welcome back. Okay, so I want to ask a very personal question.
Yeah.
Now, what is your fear in the educational system here in Nigeria? Do you have fears?
I do have fears.
Okay.
And my fears border on the fact that given what is happening now, where will the future be for these children? Where will this next generation be? Where? What we have in Nigeria right now is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And as an employer in labor, I want to weep. Yes, because when they write applications to for jobs, for employment, a graduate who cannot even make good sentence in English. And English is the acceptable common language, so of delivery here. You cannot even write a good application. Okay, you cannot even speak it as well. If it is like that now, how do you think it will be tomorrow? With what we are turning out. Okay, even in our government system, the government schools, the two teachers, they are qualified though, but they are not interested, they are not passionate. It is like it is their own national cake. Let them also grab from there, cut their own bits from there. So what will those children that will be turned out, what would they be like tomorrow? So I have my fears.
Yeah.
Because your question is, do I have my fears?
Yes,
I have my fears.
Okay, so now you have a primary school and a secondary school.
Yes, I do.
There's this norm recently. Akwa Ibom government declared that for children above 12 years old, that they don't have a space in the college because they have fears of cultism. Now, we know that these young ones, before, we know that it usually used to be university students. But now, it is now even in secondary schools.
Yes.
So, what measures have you taken to ensure that your children, students in your school are not involved in this kind of in cultism?
Okay. You know, you cannot control them while they are at home, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
But then we try as much as possible, spiritually speaking, to have some pastors coming in during the time they come in to pray for them.
Pray with them.
And then children who now begin to show, you know, signs of rebellion and disobedience to students' code of conduct, that's what we call the rules and regulations in our school, you will know something is going wrong already. And then you should nip it at the bud. Because if you don't, and how do we do that? We do that by the discipline. We do that by those disciplinary measures that are already in place. So it doesn't matter that you are a rich parent. If your child is disobedient, that child can be expelled from the school.
Oh, okay.
So that she or he does not corrupt the others. Because that's how it starts in the school. So these are some of the measures we put in place. You must obey the students' rules and regulations. The rules and regulations guiding the students, call them the students' code of conduct. It is there in tablet, in written and order. Because when you now begin to identify students that are disobedient, you know they are coming from somewhere. They are coming from somewhere. Because some of them are exposed to all sorts of things on the social media at home.
The environment.
So, yes, the environment is quite wrong, you know, for them at home, and it's not like that in school. And then when they come to school, if you try to discipline them, you see them that they are disobedient, they are rebellious, and you know something is coming. They are coming from somewhere. In our school, you know, for example, you are not allowed, you know, to have phones in school or have any of such gadgets in school. You're not allowed. You're not. So if you are not allowed and you are found to have it in school, you are dismissed.
Okay.
Because that's how it starts. Because some of them are already into pornography because they took this from home. Parents are not there. Parents are not there. You can, for me, as a parent, my children growing up, you cannot lock door now. Why would you lock door? What a boy or girl? Why would you lock door? I know my child, my first son, was in the university, yet in the university, he was sick one day. I said, I will bet you. My daughter, she's the last. And I said, one day I told her, I said, I want to bet you. Today, I will wash you. He said, no, I feel violated. I said, I hear you. You beating, washing up in the bedroom, and you locking the door. Why? What is going on? And that you can't live by sight. I am a home person. You also should be a home person. They were home persons. You have friends, I should know the friends. And me, I will go to the house of your friend. And you can't tell me you want to visit your friend, and your friend I have not seen. I want to know your friend's parents to allow you to go to the house. And if you go there, either daddy will drop you there or me, I will drop you there. Not sending you with driver. So these are the things parents can do to help. So but for us, when you come to school with these traits, we can now identify that something is going on somewhere. Yes. And then we'll just nip it at the bud before you corrupt the others.
Okay. So it is no longer news that some graduates, they just go to school just because they want to be known as graduates.
Yes.
Just like you said, when you see some employment letter of applications, most of them can't even spell. Most of them can't construct good sentences. Now, do you think that graduates are even one of the reasons why education is devalued in Nigeria?
That graduates are not... but this is the whole field now. It's garbage in
Garbage
and
out.
garbage out. That's it. What else we are saying here now? That's it. So when they now go into university, imagine that child that is already in the courts in secondary school. What would that child be? How would that child go to school? Go to university? How? Imagine that such a child. The child will go and continue now. He's already there. He will continue. I was listening to this prayer program on online, was it day before yesterday? And a girl was, talking about her being a lesbian, her being masturbating, her even stealing, her being all sorts of vices. So, and in the university. In the university, some of them don't even go to school. From university, they go clubbing. For university, they engage into prostitution. For the females and the boys, and this is what they do with the boys who are into cult. So how will they turn out? How will they learn? The ones who are into cults, they feel they can influence the teachers, the lecturers. And so if you don't give them good marks, they threaten you, they beat you up, they rob you, and all sorts of things.
And let's also not forget that some of these lecturers are also members of this cult.
Yes, now. Yes, now. And the ones who are not, these are the things they get. The ones who are, they are in there with these students. And so they give them the marks, even though they don't attend lectures. Even though they don't write exams. Oh my God. So that's why we are seeing what we are seeing now, turned out as graduates. They cannot be proud. You cannot proudly call them graduates. Even themselves, they know they cannot even represent. They cannot even represent. So if you also, it now becomes like a vicious cycle. So if you also employ such a person without putting in place a good process that can make you select, a good teacher, what happens is that same person will give what he has to your student. Because you can't give what you don't have. You give what you have. And that is what they have. So that's what they will give the students. So from our own angle, and I think some, good private schools are doing the same, With that, I believe that there could be a better future for education even in our country. If schools like Princess continue to exist.
So talking about giving the good value, having a value for education, do you think private schools they uphold education more than public schools?
Because I need, and I know I attended a government school, even though then it was even better. But right now, I know what it is like. I can state the differences between, a public school, which is government school, and a private school. So I know that some good schools, some good private schools, invest so much, and so they are ahead, they are better, and they turn better, students into the larger society than the government schools. Because see what our government officials are doing.
So now let's place our institutions side by side with institutions abroad. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate our institutions?
Now, our tertiary institutions.
Yes.
Our
tertiary institutions.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Is it something that can be placed side by side with other schools abroad?
No. Capital. No, capital. Capital, no. It cannot. And if you ask me to grade or to rate, I will place them on a scale of 4.
Okay, so whose fault is it? Is it from the students, the parents, or the government?
You remember the students are the stock in trade. So let's not start blaming them. I think a larger percentage of blame should go to the government, and then the next percentage should go to the parents. Before now, the students we have turned out, we can say, but giving what it used to be in those days. A child who doesn't even have money will not go to school to prostitute, will not go to school to become a robber. So with that, we could give a smaller percentage to the students themselves.
Okay. So, what is your advice to the government? How do they restore the value of education in Nigeria?
Oh, very good question. My advice to them is to invest more into education in Nigeria. My advice to them as well is that investment should not only be into the public schools. Just like we have PPP, public-private partnership in our, parastatals, some businesses like that.
So the government can actually partner with private schools.
God bless you. That's what I want you, to know. They can, because the private schools are, delivering. It's the government and some persons do think that private schools charge a lot of money, and so because they charge a lot of money, they're into business, they should be able to invest that loss of money. Yes, most of those schools that charge that loss of money, they also stand out because they really do play back into the system, into their schools, to now have a step up, to now be a good school, to not be a better school, a quality school. And then you now have many others, down there, So government can partner with schools than putting a lot of stringent measures against, private school businesses. They make it almost impossible for you to run. So government should, do something. I blame them, and if they do this, it will help. It will go a long way. You have to. This is a technological age. This is the computer age. You have to. Most of the private schools can't even afford it, and then we need that. And we need that in place. Government can afford it. Government is not even putting it in place in their own schools. So how can they not? So I blame government a lot, and if they can, please, they can. You are saying it. If they can, and we know they can, let them do something. And if they have to do something, it is now the people, the officials themselves, that need to be reoriented. You understand? The human beings themselves who take off those offices, who are in those offices, they need to be reoriented, because they are the ones missing it. They are the ones delivering. I usually would tell, the students and tell my parents, in school, that's why is it students like Mrs. Iwezu? They call me Mrs. Iwezu for short. How is it they like Mrs. Iwezu? Why is it I know them in and out, yet I don't teach them in the classroom? You see, because I have that love and that passion for them. So that is what is missing in those who are in the Federal Ministry of Education.
So you've heard our guest. Well, I think the whole thing boils down to partnership. Just like our guest has said, government should partner with both private schools to ensure that the value of education in Nigeria is restored, of course. Well, whether private school or public school, what is important is quality education. Every child has the right to quality education. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming on the show. We hope to invite you again, and we hope to see more of you on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, this is Undisable. Undisable airs on King's Prime TV on YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. You can also catch previous episode by downloading our King's Prime TV app. Go to the Google Play Store or the iOS Store and download our King's Prime TV app, and you have access to amazing, interesting movies. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sticking from the beginning of this show till now. This is where we draw the curtains. I am Joy Duke saying bye.